I am Carla Hytchye, and I am the miracle. I actually be feeling like that was a little Lifetime story. Like it could have been a little Lifetime movie. Because he first started in the DMs about business. After about 3 months of him saying, hey, what's up? Are we going to talk business? I was like, okay, maybe this guy is serious. So we finally met, and I was like, well, let's meet at this vegan spot. And he goes, I said, I don't know if you're vegan or any of that. I said, I'm trying to be healthier. And he was like, I'm actually a vegan. Okay, nice. When I walked through those doors, it felt like time stopped. I never met this man in my life, but stopped, zoomed into him, and that was all that mattered. It just seemed like we had met in another lifetime or something. I don't know what happened. I couldn't explain it. I still to this day don't know. I just attribute it to God. But we talked to the point where nothing about business, mind you. Experiences, family, plans, future, didn't once talk about real estate. And it was to the point where we were literally the last people in there, and they're like, hey, we're closed. We closed at 3. That was that. We were just friends for a few years. Just straight platonic friends. Honestly, neither one of us were each other's type. So after a few years of friendships, we finally started really getting to know each other, and we kind of was like, well, maybe we should do life together. I don't know, I'm trying to kind of feeling like this might be more than a friendship. But the friendship was well established for a few years before we started dating. So when we did start dating, it was wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, put a ring on it, baby, all the things, and now we're 3 years in. And then all the synchronicities we learned about each other, like his mom's name is Carla, which was weird. His sister's birthday is the same as mine, it's weird. My dad and his birthday are the same. It was like, okay, this is starting to be a lot. And just a lot of the things, like through our lifetime, we just kind of kept crossing paths. We dated sisters and brothers. He dated the sister, I dated the brother. Same time. Was even in the same house at one point because they lived together. Weird things like that. We started feeling like, what is God doing here? Why did he bring us together? Okay. So even through the marriage, we started questioning, well, were we just supposed to be friends? We're just supposed to be here to learn lessons? We didn't know until we really submitted to the will of God. It's a lot. So I don't know where God wants us to go or what it's going to be, but so far it's been just the most revealing relationship I've ever been in, even before the marriage. But the marriage, it took it deeper than I could even fathom. A lot of my hurts, pains, traumas that I kind of masked started surfacing. And I looked at him as if he was the enemy for a little bit. Like, how dare you? I've done all this work, I've done all this healing and all these things, and here you come. All this stuff is surfacing, it must be you. And I started praying for God to change my husband. Either change my husband or I can't do this. Obviously wasn't within your will. I just wanted to be married. All the lies that the enemy places inside of us and along the path. And those lies have been inside you for a long time. They start surfacing. And so, all that, and what happened was God started changing me. And I started realizing that my husband was never the problem per se. The problem was the problem. And I had to distinguish that first and foremost because my posture had to change. And the whole while God was preparing me, and I'm, over here trying to blame him, and, baby, I was part of the problem. It's not the whole problem sometimes. Small things I would be so defensive about. He may say to me, well, you don't know how to be nurturing. And I'm like, excuse me, I have children, and how dare you? And it really took for me to reflect, and it started making me realize, well, I really probably am not as nurturing. I started looking at the relationship with my children, which then caused me to look at my childhood, and like, you probably don't really know how to be affectionate. You were never really taught a lot of these things. And so maybe he's right. But it took for me to, first I went through denial, defending who I was, claiming I did all this work, which doesn't negate the work that I did. It's just that, baby, you have not arrived yet. You actually never quite arrived. You have to continue doing the work. It was those moments where I had to sit in it, where I could no longer blame him or anything for that matter, not even the past, not my parents, not anyone. I had to really say, okay, I'm an adult now. If that was my childhood, I have the power now to become who it is God created me to be. That's no longer my story. And so it was really those moments where felt like, okay, this is it. I can't do this. This person is not good for me, to where God had me where he needed me to really be able to do the work. But it took for me to be stripped. It was no one to blame. I just was in a space of just isolation for a moment, to where I could actually hear God's voice and not confuse it with anything or anyone else. And those were the moments that really started shifting me and changing me and made me realize, okay, you may have done some work, but that's not all. Me thinking, okay, well, if I put on this hat, I'm the realtor. I put on this hat, I'm the mom who, I went to college. I'm setting away, blazing a trail for my children. I'm owning the property. I'm the first to graduate high school. I'm college by all the accolades. They were just identities that I was hiding the hurt and pain behind. And so I had to be intentional about that prayer closet, that prayer space, because that's when I feel like God really had my full attention, my full submission. That I was like, okay, I'm in this closet on my knees, literally in the dark a lot of the times. But it was those moments where I felt the shifts, where the breakthroughs happened, it got ugly, and I was able to really face a lot of what I consider the darkness. Because, light and dark both have to exist. There's no cookie cutter way about any marriage, right? My first line of defense is just prayer. That's what I know. For any situation, I always ask God to take control of my mind before I do. I do believe that the mind is a gift. Literally before I even get out the bed, I'm asking God to just take control of my mind, my heart, my spirit. I belong to God. But I know just from my experiences in our human nature, we may not like things that our husband does or does not do. I always ask God to allow me to have the lens of love through my husband, whether I'm viewing something, whether I'm speaking to him, whatever it is. I'm praying for this man. I pray over him when he sleeps. I pray over him. Just any time he crosses my mind, I stop and I pray before the thing, because I know how powerful that is. Have you prayed? Have you submitted it to God? A lot of times we think that we'll sit there and give it to God, and then we come back and we're still looking at it through the same lens. You have got to be able to step away. You have got to give God the space and time to work. Because if we don't, you're still in that space of ego. You're still thinking that, okay, well, I prayed about it and God has showed me and revealed to me this and that, and you're still operating this way and that way, and you ain't stepped up and you ain't met my needs. God is supposed to be the only one to meet your needs, for real. And I know that a lot of women have different perspectives about their marriage, and they don't say, well, my husband ain't my best friend, or he's not my partner, or he's not this or that. But God brought you two together to truly serve the kingdom. And that's the first priority, no matter what. So your happiness, wow, I just hate to say this, because our happiness absolutely matters, but it's not the first priority in the kingdom, whether you're happy or not. And so I would ask that woman to really look at where she prioritizes that and maybe readjust that. And to understand, because sometimes it just takes for someone to share that with you, for you to be like, well, what you mean? What you mean it ain't? Well, let's talk about it. So, I would then go into what the kingdom actually, requires, and what God considers a holy marriage, or whatever. There's so many different ways to title it, but let's really break down what a marriage, what a covenant really is. And then let's see where your happiness fits in with that. But if you're just basing everything on your feeling, which is fleeting, you won't be steadfast in anything. And that right there is the devil's playground, or whatever you want to call it. I know people don't, whatever you want to call it, that right there is just pure chaos. So many different things. It was too hot today. Now my whole mood is shifted. Seriously, if I walk in my house and it smells a certain way, my mood is shifted. I'm not happy. What's that mean? I'm supposed to throw the whole family away, throw the whole house away? No. So you cannot treat your marriage like it's some, pleasing thing. It's just, you will find satisfaction in it through God, but you have to have God as the source. Because baby, listen, men alone, listen, to irk your whole, men are just different. They're different. We're supposed to be. We're created different. But, we're like lock and keys. We're supposed to be different, but, we're not supposed to fully understand a man. Now, should we attempt to? Yeah, absolutely. But you never will, sis. You never will fully understand it. And then we're always constantly growing and changing and evolving. So I wouldn't base the marriage on your happiness at all. It just is not going to get you through those periods, those seasons, and those chapters that were designed for something else. You just won't do it. You ain't gonna cut it. But that inner work is truly when I started seeing the change within my family, within my home, the opportunities, the way my husband showed up to provide, not just financially, but how he started being more aware of, the tone of the home, how he started being more aware of me emotionally, things that I used to, just be resentful about and all of that. All of a sudden, I felt like this is a whole new man. I'm looking like, okay, all right, this is what I'm capable of doing when I focus on me, and when I truly honor God, and when I truly am obedient. This is the power that God has placed within me. Okay. It almost becomes addictive. Like you want to do more work. You just up for the challenge. You're like, okay, God. And that's how I kind of have, looked at life now. It's like, okay, when there's a challenge now, I'm already stopping and praising God. I'm already thankful for that thing. I'm already thankful for the transformation, the shift, for whatever's on the other side of that challenge. Because now I used to looking at my husband, why ain't this being taken care of? Why this and that? I'm already praising God. I'm already so thankful, deeply thankful for whatever is on the other end of that journey, that experience, because I know how God is working now. I get it. Now I'm more aware. And so I'm just like, thank you, God, for this level of consciousness and the power that I know that you place within me as a wife, because babe, listen, the work is up to us for real. The men, they have their own thing. Don't get me wrong. But as a wife, you are the most powerful thing in your home. The most powerful thing, I believe that. Because that's how God has shifted and moved in my marriage. The wisdom that's there, the love that a woman carries, the nurturing a woman carries. You can literally edify your man or tear him down with just your words. You realize how powerful you are as a woman, as a wife, especially when there's that covenant, because now God is in that thing. I personally was scared to step into that position. I used to tell my husband, I don't want to be responsible for your state of being. Like, you're a grown man. You need to be responsible for yourself. I ain't here to heal your mama wounds, and I actually am. I actually am capable of that. It's all God. If we try to, again, step out of order, out of place, out of an ego, then all of a sudden, I'm not going to be doing this and that. I'm going to be And it's nothing but God wanting you to be the vessel that you were created to be, and be in the position and be postured so that he can use you to heal this man, or to develop this man, or stretch this man, or grow him in the ways that he was. I am also the miracle wife.